Hey everybody, it's Twirl. Sorry I'm late. The live stream was being a bit of a jerk. So I'm going to go ahead and wait until about 8:05 to actually start the show so that everyone has a chance to get here. I literally do this makeup on my face in like 5 minutes. Okay, so I just need to make a couple clicks and then we'll be all set. Play a little bop for you while we're waiting. I'm a little kid beat. I'm a little kid beat. It's not going to keep going for me. It's me. I'm just going to let everybody know that we're actually live now. It's happening. We're live. Okay. All right. So we are still waiting for a couple of people that I know will be signing on. So I'm going to give it another minute or two. I'm going to play you a little music while we are waiting for folks to join us, and then we're going to go ahead and get started. And I'm going to run and grab something really quickly. There we go. We'll do that one. I'll be right back. Yes, get into the ground. I'm a little kid. I'm a little kid. I'm a little kid beat. Hi. Oh, hi. Okay, so there are actually people coming on now. I'm wearing my crown from What the Funk because fuck it, I have to feel fabulous at some point. So I just need to grab one more thing and then we're gonna start. I'm not doing this without my wine, y'all. That's not gonna be okay. So let's have a little sip here. We got wine, we got water, we got light, we got 5 makeup job. Y'all, I beat my feet so fast. Oh, it's MX Pucks Aplenty. Hi, thank you. So I'm going to talk about this gown, but I got the gown at Goodwill Hunty. Yes. So, all right. So I said I was going to start at 8:10. It's 8:11. So I am going to go ahead and get started. And okay, stay on my head crown. You don't need any incidents. Embarrassing.
Welcome to Showgirl Sunday Dinner, the bi-weekly sparkly burlesque podcast about my experiences living, loving, and training as a showgirl from an unapologetically Black perspective. I am Twirlisha Divine, the Black Gold Goddess, and the creator, host, and producer of Showgirl Sunday Dinner. Thank you all so much for accepting my invitation to dine and dish. Now grab a plate and have a seat at the table, because you're about to get served.
Okay, so this is Twirlisha Divine coming to you live with a message from Princess Coronianna. Yeah, I'm knucking and bucking and ready to fight. I betcha I'ma infect that ass, so haters better think twice. See me, I ain't nothing nice. And viral mob, it ain't no stopping us. It be like SARS, MERS, the flu. We got you coughing. Now some still ain't social distancing and I'm acting a fool. Refusing to wash their hands to prevent and stop my viral mob crew. Now enough is enough, boy. Fixing to get stuffed up, boy. Purell is a must, boy. Nuck if you buck, boy. So yeah, that was a note that Coronianna had actually sent in to the glitter box and stated that I had to read it to the dinner guests or it was going to be problematic. So yeah, so welcome to Bust Down Coronianna. Let's try that again. Welcome to Bust Down Coronianna, episode 31 of Showgirl Sunday Dinner. And I just want to say that tonight's episode is going to be a bit different because I'm going to be doing something that I've not done before, which is a live call-in show. So yeah, we'll be doing some of the segments. Some of it might get truncated. Some of it might get thrown around. I have cue cards to try and keep me on track. There's a cat on my counter. Onyx, get down. Excuse me. Get down. Onyx. Okay, sorry. Okay, so the number to call in, so the glitter and dinner digits, if you're looking to call into the podcast, 765-537-8112. I have some folks scheduled to call in tonight, but also just want to open up the lines to anyone who wants to call in. So yeah, Coronianna is basically trying to steal Nuck If You Buck. And I think that that's really rude of her because that's a classic. And I just don't feel as if viruses should be stealing our classics. Yeah, moving on. So we are going to go ahead, as we do every week, and move into our sparkle and shine. Okay, and today's sparkle and shine is going out to what I like to call secondhand sparkle and shine. And what I mean by that is that I am a believer in recycling, upcycling, buying clothes secondhand. I am a Goodwill thrift store, person. I love digging in old clothes and vintage clothes and trying to find good stuff that I can use. So in the wake of all of this, and also even before that, I've been kind of doing what's called secondhand showgirling. So I've been buying things from showgirls when they put them up for sale, like pieces that they aren't using anymore, or pieces that they never used and they just got tired of them, whatever, what have you. So this week, I have two folks that I would like to feature in my secondhand sparkle and shine. The first one is Divina Morfina from Phoenix, Arizona. She is the ever-changing dame that will take away your pain, which is like a sick tagline and totally makes sense for her. I bought the most amazing vegan boa from her. I'm going to show you. It is lush. It is red. It is drop dead. So I'm excited about wearing this. I needed a red boa. I'm working on an act that has red in it, and I wanted a red boa, and she posted this for sale literally maybe not even 24 hours after I came up with the concept of this act. And I was like, this was meant to be. Like, this was for me. So I just am very, very thankful to Vina for selling me this amazing secondhand red vegan boa, which I will lovingly drape over my chair. Also in the package that she sent me, she sent these amazing little pins and stickers, which I love. This is Davina. She's so fine. Okay. And there is a little pin and another sticker of her and her praying mantis act, which is one of my favorites. If you've not seen this act, you have to. The costume is brilliant and the concept is brilliant. I mean, she's brilliant. So there you go. And then this tiny little amazing headshot business card. This is such a great idea. Look at this. Isn't this adorable? I love this because I think this is good for burlesque performers because when we're networking, a lot of times we're in performance spaces and you might not have a purse or you have a tiny purse. And if someone hands you a business card like this, you can just stick it in your bra or you can stick it in your tiny purse. And I just think this is ingenious. So thank you, Davina. Also, just like Davina, I call Davina the Linda Evangelista of burlesque because she can literally wear any hair color and like any look of makeup and she looks amazing. So she's like, if Linda Evangelista had like perfect, amazing curves, then she would be Divina Morfina. I mean, she can't even because Divina's amazing. So moving on. And then also Beta Rhinestone. I bought a few pieces from her that she was selling. She was moving and getting rid of some stuff. So I bought a few pieces from her. And once all this mess is over, you know, they'll get mailed out and I'll receive them and I'll be able to show them to you. But I was really excited to get some of her showgirl stuff. And hopefully some of her fierce ass juju is still left on them because, her execution is always on point and her concepts are always on point. Just a fabulous performer. And I'm just excited to kind of, I don't know, I feel like I'm in a sense like collecting like good pieces from people that I know are good people. And it kind of is inspiring to me. Like when I look at this boa, I think of Davina and that's inspiring to me. Thinking about like, you know, being able to use things that Beta Rhinestone had made makes me feel I don't know, it makes me feel warm. So yeah, think about secondhand showgirling. I think it's a good idea. If you're looking to follow Davina, please find her on Instagram at Davina Morphina, and that is DIVINAMOOREPHINA. And then if you're looking for Veda on Instagram, she is at Veda, VAYDA underscore rhinestone, RHYNSTONE. And I'll make sure that all this information is included in the show notes. And Veda's, oh, I forgot. Veda's tagline is Chicago's diamond in the buff. I mean, yeah, she's kind of hot. So there's that. So also, because both of them are secondhand showgirling me things, I am going to be sending them a free piece of merch. There's going to be a limited edition, brand new piece of Showgirl Sunday Dinner merch. It hasn't dropped yet, and it won't be dropping for the next couple of weeks. But I'm going to be sending out some complimentary pieces to some show folks that I feel really deserve them. And so Davina and also Veda will be getting a limited edition Showgirl Sunday Dinner piece of merch. So look out for that in the coming weeks. So yeah, that is my sparkle and shine for the week. And now we can go ahead and move into our showgirl or show person self-care segment of the show. So I just want to say to everyone, it's your thing. Do what you want to do. As far as this whole quarantine situation is concerned, don't let anybody make you think that you need to like create 50 different acts or work out every single damn day or whatever the fuck. Also, I'm gonna need for y'all people who are like body shaming folks during quarantine and policing what people put in their mouth. Shut the fuck up, okay? Let bitches eat cake or whatever the fuck else they want. Shit is real out here, okay? Enjoy yourself. Do what you can. If you feel like you need to lay on the couch all day, then lay on the couch all day. If you want to scream and cry into the void, do that. You know, whatever it is that you feel like you need to do to take care of yourself during these times. These are rough times for people, okay? People are losing their entire income, okay? It's not okay. People are losing opportunities to be on stage. And I know sometimes people don't understand how that affects us as performers. Like for me, school starts again tomorrow and I'm fucking dreading it because being able to perform is what makes school bearable for me. Like I'm going to get into this later, but school has become such a fucking horrible thing for me over the last year. Like it's just been so bad and I haven't really talked very much about it, but I feel like I need to get some things off my chest. So I will be doing that tonight. But I just want to say to everyone, it's your thing. It's your quarantine. It's do whatever you need to do to get through this. Talk to whoever you need to talk to. If you're spiraling and you need to reach out to somebody, you can call me. That's fine. You know, I want everybody to feel like it's okay to have a bad moment and a bad day and not be productive or whatever the fuck. Like people have these expectations of other people during a fucking crisis. Like let people handle shit and process shit the way that they want, okay? So take care of yourselves and do whatever it is that you feel like is good for you. So I wanna give you a couple of tips before our first callers start. Just wanna tell you about the things that have kind of been keeping me, for the most part, uplifted. Like I've definitely had my moments where I just wanted to like scream and cry. Like I've been a bit of a mess today and yesterday because it's Jeezy's juke joint weekends and I'm home and RVA and I was supposed to see all my Richmond friends and some friends from other places and I'm home. And I love being home and I love being with my husband and I love being with my pets, but I mean, I really want to be with y'all and I wanted to be able to experience the Black excellence that is fucking Jeezy's juke joint for the first time. Like, God damn it, I finally get in and now I'm home. Fucking Coronianna. Anyway, so these are the things that I've been doing to kind of keep my shit together. I've been playing with other show folk on the internet. I did a fun little side-by-side video dancing with Rose Whip to Christian's Full of Smoke. I have like hair in my face and I can't find it. Stupid wig. And that was like the highlight of my week. Seriously. Rose they're just a dream come true. And I'm gonna talk more about Rose later, but that was the highlight of my week. I'm just gonna leave it at that for right now. Some of the IG challenges that I've been tagged in, like, I don't know why everybody always tags me in the peach ones. I would like to be tagged in some other challenges as well. I do push-ups sometimes. Anyways, oh, and then like I did the shower one. Faves Deep had the shower one, and I did that one. There were a bunch. Crying, because crying is cleansing. Been cooking a lot of like vegetarian. So I'm a vegetarian, and my husband's a vegetarian. So I've been cooking a lot of like vegetarian comfort food. Like today, I made the most amazing vegetarian quiche. It was so good. My husband earlier in the week made this vegetarian chili that literally would make you want to smack your mama. It was that good. I'm not playing. So let's see. Working out. The Facebook quarantine fitness group that Kiki Chaos put together out in San Diego has been really great and inspirational. I found some really fun videos on there and have loved kind of keeping up with everybody. And it's really kind of keeping me accountable for being active. For me, exercising and being active is absolutely necessary to maintain my serotonin levels. If I don't work out, I get extremely depressed and I spiral out and I can't function, right? And also it affects my migraines. If I don't work out, my migraines just get terrible. So working out for me is something that I need to do with some regularity. Like, I'm not saying I have to like go kill it in the gym every day, but I need to have some type of regularity surrounding my physical activity so that I can maintain my mental health and also my physical health. So thank you, Kiki Chaos, for putting that together, because that's been really instrumental in keeping me accountable and keeping me moving. Michelle Amora has a video series of burlesque classes that I purchased kind of like right before this shit hit the fan. And that has been a lot of fun. And it's kind of making me think about choreography in a different and new way, which is really refreshing. Let's see. I've been staring at my sewing machine. I haven't used it very much this week. I think I'm just kind of trying to figure out what I want to do next and what I want to try next. I've been looking at a bunch of videos, and I think what's up next is a panel skirt. So, but I need fabric for that, and I can't really go to Joann's right now. I guess I can order it from Amazon. Huh? Okay. I've been shopping. I mean, I'm supposed to be following the budget. And also considering the fact that my transmission is in pieces in my garage right now. Doc said he could fix it. We're gonna see, y'all. We're gonna see, because I already told him if he breaks my car, I'm breaking the budget for real, because I need wheels. Because once this shit is over, a bitch is out. Okay, like I need to perform. This is unbearable. Okay, so. Also, I've been working on new acts. Shout out to Die Lovely and Dulce de Jour. Dulce made me these amazing dip dye veil fans, and she sent them to me months ago. And I have my little robe from Vivacious Miss Audacious and some other pieces. So I'm really now working on getting that act together. And I will be sending a flow video. Cause see, Dulce gonna tag me in a video, and then that was like, and was tagged in it. Now I feel obligated to like get on the internet with my veil fans, and I'm not as good as they are, but I'm gonna do it anyway. It's fine. And then I've been rhinestoning stuff. I've been dancing. Who knows? I'm probably pregnant. Yeah. I've been getting back into like my rituals, spirituality, meditation, taking lots of walks in the woods, playing with my pets, bird watching, minding my fucking business, hanging out in the lab with my husband and helping reading. I've been watching TV. There's a series based on a Stephen King book called The Outsiders. And I had read the book, and the book was really interesting to me. So I watched the series. I had some issues with it, but I mean, it's Stephen King. So as a woman and a womanist, I'm going to have issues with Stephen King. But the story was very interesting, and I kind of liked the series. I wasn't really a big fan of some of the shit that they did with the Black female character in the show. I like the concept of her character, but I don't like some of the choices that were made with her character in the writing. But again, it's Stephen King, so you gonna have some. It's gonna be problematic, y'all. And then I've been playing Pokemon Go. Shout out to Gidget Bardo, who is my burly Pokemon best friend, and also doing this podcast. So thank you to everyone who has been involved with Showgirl Sunday Dinner, who has supported Showgirl Sunday Dinner, who's kind of helped me get my ass back in gear to get back up and doing the podcast. I am expecting that some folks will be calling in soon, but I do want to try and do the Burly Biz section next. So I'm going to take a quick jive break so I can get my notes out and make sure I'm ready. Jimmy on the beat, So this is from YouTube. It's one of the free songs on YouTube, actually. It's called Happy Little Tekka Type Beat, and it's Best Beats on YouTube. It's called, and it's cute. I like it. A little bop. All right, so now we will go ahead and get into our Burly Biz of the Week. This week, we are going to be giving a huge shout out to a friend of the podcast, Iris Lamour. Or Iris Muscarella, as her business website states, or her business Insta states. So Iris started a apparel company called Juno Apparel, and they are our Burly Biz of the Week. So Juno Apparel is a comprehensive gender-neutral swimwear and activewear line that features functional body modifications to bridge the gap between body dysmorphia and the optimal swimwear look that folks want to have. They seek to address poolside fashion needs of gender fluid, non-binary, trans folks, as well as athletes and anyone really who's looking for a more supportive and comfortable swimwear. So it's kind of a genderless swimwear line. It's really cool activewear line. They have great prints, great fabrics. Of course, you know, Iris is running it, so you know that it's quality, okay? Because Iris is fancy, okay? So she's not gonna put crap out in the universe for you to purchase, okay? Iris is fancy. So and Iris has been a great friend to the podcast, and I really appreciate Iris and all of her efforts. And I think that this gender-neutral swimsuit line is amazing, especially since there are things and additions and ways that the garments kind of help folks who are dealing with changing bodies make sure that they're comfortable when they are at the pool. It's a big deal, right? If you're dealing with body dysmorphia, especially if you're dealing with body dysmorphia as a result of gender fluidity or trans issues, it's wonderful to be able to have swimwear that can help you look the way that you feel, right? And look the way that you are and the way that you identify, right? Look like you. So I think that that's amazing. And the Insta is at Juno Apparel Swimwear, and that's JUNO APPAREL SWIMWEAR. And on Facebook, it's Juno Apparel. And the website is www.junoapparel.com. So please head over there and check them out. You know, swimsuit season is coming. We're not going to be in the house forever. So if you are looking for some new swimwear, some comfortable, super supportive swimwear, and want to support a brand that is also supporting non-binary and trans people, which I think is amazing and is also fancy as fuck because Iris Lamour, go on over to Juno Apparel and purchase some things. So I am looking at the time and I'm thinking that some folks are going to start calling in soon. I want to make sure that I have my Google Voice app open. I do. So what I'm going to do now, I said I wasn't going to do this, but I'm going to go ahead and put the Google Voice number in the Showgirl Sunday Dinner story, so that people can call in if they see the story. Dinner. So I'm going to announce it one more time. The glitter and dinner digits for everybody: 765 537 8112. And yeah, so you can go ahead and call now. Ooh, somebody just called. And how did I miss it? Okay, let me go back over here and call this person back. Oh, I think this is Pucks Aplenty. We're going to call Pucks back. Pucks. Ah, here we go. Pucks. Pucks.
Hello.
Hi, Pucks. How are you?
How are you?
I'm good. I'm so glad that you called the show to hang out with us. How's everything going?
Things are going okay.
Yeah, I know it's kind of crazy times. So I earlier, and you kind of had something specific that you wanted to speak about, and I think it's really important. So I'm going to go ahead and let you kind of take over and talk to folks about what it is that your concept for what conversation you wanted to have with everyone this evening.
Is it the first thing I emailed you about or the second thing?
The second thing, I think. Yeah. Well, we'll do both. You know what? Let's do the first thing first, and we'll follow up with the second thing.
Okay, that sounds good. So I'm a person that likes to be busy, and I like to create, and I like to produce, and as all of us have been experiencing our gigs and kind of watching them happen, and I reached out to a Olympia, Washington-based performer, Perlita Vacante, and I'm like, I have this half-baked idea, and they're like, give me a second. And about 30 minutes later, they messaged me and said, hey, someone else just messaged me and with a very similar concept. We should all connect. And through this conversation, 6 of us kind of came together and decided we wanted to do a digital burlesque festival. Oh. And so, yeah. So Sequenced and Sequestered, a digital burlesque fest, is a thing that's actually happening.
Nice.
Yeah, we're pretty excited about it. It's like I said, it's a team of 6 of us. Miss Dixon Valentine, Seattle-based performer. The Picante, a Olympia, Washington-based performer who is a part of Papaya Magic.
Yeah.
Burlesque, and also co-produces a All People of Color variety show quarterly in Olympia. We have Freaky Candy from Italy.
Yeah.
Helping also. And then Miss Rita Delavane from Savannah.
Yes.
And then Solange Ray, who is also a Olympia-based performer, is part of this production team. So 6 of us. And I mean, between the 6 of us, we have produced festivals, we produced larger events. Some of us are on the steering committee for BurleyCon. So it's a group of people that kind of know their way around some stuff.
Right.
That decided to get together. And really the idea, it's spontaneous, or it's in response to an unprecedented global pandemic. Mm-hmm. And just this idea of taking
some really shitty lemons and turning them into lemonade as best as we can. So we opened up the application process. It's free to apply, and there's some rules to it.
I saw that. The rules are interesting.
Right?
Yeah.
Some really interesting rules, but really we want people to create with the things that they have on hand.
Mm-hmm.
And we want people to have a good time with it and just really enjoy it. And so there's a couple of different categories that someone can place in. We have best in show. We also have best use of unconventional performance space. We have royalty, which is the best use of royalty-free music, or unconventional use of music or sound.
Cool.
And then we have best cameo of a cup and best overall DIY aesthetic.
Best cameo. So, okay, I love that.
Right. Really looking forward to seeing people's pets, make an appearance in their videos. And I mean, the thing about it is that like we don't know if we're going to get 10 people applying or 1,000 because it is open. It's an international festival, and we're not charging anyone to apply for it. Yeah, and we just really want to give people an opportunity to create something silly and fun.
Yeah,
and it's a. I mean, I personally feel really powerless. I know a lot of people feel really powerless right now in terms of what you feel like you should be doing versus what we actually have the capability of doing. Yeah. And just watching all the festivals postpone or kind of push back has been really hard. I mean, me personally, a couple weeks ago, I was supposed to be, or actually last week, because what is time now? Last week I was supposed to be at the first Utah Burlesque Festival. Yep. Mm-hmm. Competing. Yep. And that clearly didn't happen. And I think one of the toughest decisions I've had to be a part of was postponing Fierce. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, Fierce Performing Arts Festival. That was brutal. It's hard. And it's normally in those types of situations, it's a poem that we share with a few other people. But I'm sharing this same pain and loss with producers all over the country and all over the world. Right. And it's like a collective mourning. It's really intense. Yeah. 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 I mean, I was just talking about at the top of the show, I was supposed to be at Jeezy's this weekend and RVA, and I was going to Utah as well. I ended up having to pull out of Utah because of issues with school, which I'll get to later in the podcast. But I mean, all of these things, and I got into Jeezy's finally for the first time, and then I would just, it's just been really crushing. And I'm missing Vanessa Chevelle so much right now. I just want to hug them. And so I feel you. And I'm just watching everybody else kind of not know what to do and watching everybody's reactions to all of their gigs getting canceled. And I think sometimes we don't always realize as performers how important performing is. I think we inherently know it, but that whole idea of the collective mourning, because it's happening to everyone all at once, everybody losing their gigs and having everything kind of postponed indefinitely. We don't really know exactly when this is going to come to an end, right? So it's kind of, it's collective uncertainty and mourning, and there's nothing that any of us can really do to fix it for each other in any real sense at this point. Usually if there are a few performers or a group of performers or a few performers having an issue, folks can rally behind them to help them, right? Or a producer is struggling or whatever. But this is
everyone all at once. And it's super overwhelming. And it's sometimes hard to like, who are you supposed to talk to about it, right? Because everybody's going through it.
Yeah. It's like, okay, so people need money.
Yeah.
Okay. So fundraiser, that's like, or what do we do? Like, and I'm a person that's like, okay, let's figure out what to do. And the thing is that the people that I would normally reach out to, we're all in the same boat together. Yeah. And so it doesn't, I mean, it's such a cop out to say, hey, it doesn't seem fair. But it's like, life isn't fair.
Right.
But this has a collective PTSD, error. Like,
Yeah, it's super
2
triggering.
years from now, 3 years from now, right? This is the long-term ramifications are what are finally starting to sink into my head.
Yeah.
Because first it's just like, oh man, like gigs from April, and now it's like, well, we're pushing everything back.
Yeah.
Which means everything that was supposed to happen in these other time frames, are those things going to get pushed back?
Right.
Or are they just going to happen?
Right.
If those things happen, it's concentration. Well, who's going to be able to afford to go to the shows? Because we're all going to be playing catch up. Right. And so it's just, that is that's the thought that gives me insomnia, and I wake up in the middle of the night and play phone games.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, that's cool. Don't need to go that deep, but one of the things that I saw kind of fairly early on in that first, like, the first week where it felt like we all were starting to kind of get it, was this kind of scramble to create the hustle. Yeah. Which is like, but that's what we do, right? The scramble. And, I'm saluting everybody because I'm like, all the people who are already on OnlyFans, and the new people coming to OnlyFans. Yeah. And, and everyone's teaching classes and everyone's doing these things. And I'm like, we're just passing around the same $1,000 to each other. Yeah. Yeah. Because we want to be there for each other. Right. So we all have this $1,000 loan, this roving loan. Yeah. And it's like, I don't know how sustainable it is. Yeah. It's not, but it's really hard to be there for people how you want to be there for people, because you can't even be there for people physically. Yeah. And you can barely be there for yourself sometimes, like. Right? Yeah. Yeah. It's intense. And, and everyone is, the beauty of burlesque is that even though we've all rallied behind this beautiful, wonderful art, we're all very extremely different people. We come from different walks of life. We have different lived experiences of all of that. And, like, some of us are in a position at this time that we can help more than others. Yeah. And, it makes that noticeable line between the haves and the have-nots even more so. Yeah. And there's a lot of things happening. Yeah. And so it's like I have to remind myself every day to just, I need to hold compassion for everybody in everyone's situation. Yeah. Right now. Yeah. Like, as much as I can. Yeah. It's like, because I'm a mom, so I'm homeschooling. Oh, God. Which, I didn't sign up for that. No. It's hard. Oh, God. I have really so much sympathy for for all the moms that are home right now, trying to actually work from home, right? So you're on the Zoom, and then, like, here comes your 4-year-old naked. Like, I literally saw, like, this kid just comes into the frame, like, naked with, like, got covered in mustard. Like, how? Yeah.
Right? It's just
it's cute.
It is.
But it's the reality, right?
Yeah.
It's the reality that like some folks are still working. Like they can't physically go into the office, but they're still working. And working from home is hard.
Yeah.
Really distracted.
Yeah.
It's hard if it's not something that you're used to.
Mm-hmm.
And like I work from home a lot.
Yeah.
And it requires, and I'm easily distracted.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't take much to get me to be like, ooh, I could be doing this.
Yeah.
So it's physically painful for me at the end of the day because I put so much energy and effort into to focus on getting the work done. So it's all these people were like learning this new normal. This is our new normal for right now, at least right now until April 30th for sure. You know, at the federal level, but it's crazy. My son is 9 years old, and he has a no pants policy when he's at home. So
hashtag me too.
He's doing his schoolwork. He's doing his schoolwork in no pants.
Yeah.
Just no pants, and I'm not going to fight him.
No. No.
Like if the work gets done, cool.
Yeah.
Mr. No Pants, do what you gotta do.
Yeah. No, I mean,
but it's traumatizing for them too.
Oh yeah, because they can't be with their friends. They can't do the things that they're used to doing. Like their routines have been very, very much disruptive. Like I have a friend who works with autistic children, and she was telling me about how destructive this is for them because for a lot of them, repetitive routines are very, very important. Structure is extremely important. And the slightest deviation is catastrophic for some of these children. So it's like...
My son is autistic.
Right, okay. So then therefore, right.
This is hard.
Yeah, it's hard.
So much time and so much work into his schedule at school and getting to a place with like his teachers, the teaching staff, and all the support staff of this is what works for my kid to get through his day, and he's turning a new leaf, and things are getting great, and it's so good, and then this happens. Yeah, and like it's like are we going to be back to step one when we get back to school? Yeah, it's intense, and there's just so many different facets, and I implore everyone to be gentle with yourself. Yeah. Be as gentle and as kind with yourself as humanly possible. And I say that as a person that's being gentle with myself. Yeah. And, I feel like at the end of the day, I have to show something, some kind of production. Like, this is what I did for today. And it's been a trip the last few weeks to some days, the victory of the day was I got up and poured myself juice by myself. Yeah. I mean, yeah. And that was the victory. Sometimes that's what you got to do. Like I was saying earlier, like whatever you need to do to get through the day, then do that. And like, don't let anybody make you feel like you need to be doing 500 other things and, creating the burlesque opus act of the world or whatever the fuck. Like, just do what you can. Mm-hmm. Just, do what you can. It's hard. Yeah. Every day, you gotta be gentle with yourself and you gotta be kind. And like, I want to be on stage so badly it hurts. Yeah. Yeah, I miss it. It hurt. Yeah, it made school bearable, and now I don't have my crutch, and school starts tomorrow, and literally my theme song is going to be Tears of a Clown because I have fucked around this entire spring break and basically did not do anything as far as school is concerned because I hate it. And I have 2 chapters of anthropology that I have to read when I get off of here and a lab that I need to finish. I mean, I'm going to be up all night. It's fine. I'll get it done. But it's just the point that I'm so like, the level of anxiety that I feel about this online process of school now is just driving me crazy. Like, I feel like I'm in a sardine can or something. Like I feel compressed. And it's like, I can't even imagine what it's like for students who learn differently, and where online learning is not something that is conducive to the way that they learn, or for the students that don't have access to internet.
right? Or who don't have access to the things that they need to make this work for them. Like, what about the students that rely on the computers in the dorms and in the libraries because they don't have a laptop? You know, like, what about those kids? Also, like, everybody was forced to move out of the dorms. What about the folks that don't have somewhere else to go? Or what about for the folks who, you know, home is not a safe place for them? Like, there's so much. Like,
this thing peeled back the thing that so many of us who are marginalized already knew, that the system is broken.
Yeah.
We already knew that.
Yeah.
And now you have the thing peeled back and we're watching people, non-marginalized folks, just be like, I can't believe that our government would do this. I can't believe X, Y, and Z. I can't believe it. You just can't. I can't.
Yeah.
You know, you got black folks in here being like, we're not trying to be assholes, but we're sipping tea.
Right.
And watching these people have these meltdowns that they can't believe. It's like, no, we can believe it.
Right. Like, none of us are surprised.
It's been peeled back.
Right.
Yeah, it's just been pulled back so we can see how fundamentally broken the system is. And people have short-term memories.
Oh, yeah.
And so in 18 months, you know, people that were willing to riot are going to be like, no, I can find toilet paper now. It's all good.
I still don't understand the toilet paper thing, but
it's a crutch. I mean, the toilet paper is like, you have people that who are jerks who bought up a bunch of toilet paper because, you know, they're like, that could be hard to find. And, you know, they're selling it online for, you know, crazy prices. But also, it's one of those things where it's like, we all know that the toilet paper is not going to protect you from anything.
Right. I don't get it.
But it's the thing that someone's able to have control over, right?
Yeah.
Like, I have this 12-pack of toilet paper, and now I have 4 of them, and this makes me feel like I have control over a situation that I don't quite understand. Yeah. And I think that's been the major problem, is that we don't quite understand. We don't quite know. And it's not even like we're being told, we're even being told things to kind of like, be like, okay, at least we know they're working on it, or things to like calm us down, or soothe us, or not, you know, escalate the situation more. But it feels like more pressure is being added to it because this administration is incapable of stopping things. Like, we need to fucking mourn. Like, we need to fucking like, hey, this is some bullshit that's happened. The ball has been dropped. We're trying to fix it. Can we all just take a deep breath together as a society and we can get through this? Like, I feel like that would go a long way than the doubling, the tripling, the quadrupling down, and, you know, people not being able to tell their asshole from a hole in the wall kind of situation, right? Yeah. Like, we're not getting any comfort. No. Like, I think about, like, right after Sandy Hook especially, right? That was just a terrible thing, right? Yeah. And Obama coming on television and saying, like, we're going to get through this. And it's just something soothing about someone being like, this is some sad-ass shit and it's awful, but I think we can get through this. And you're just like, cool, man. Yeah. But, you know, here's the juxtaposition, though, because today the rabid Cheeto in chief got on some press conference or whatever the fuck and said that we could consider it a victory if only 100,000 to 200,000 Americans die from this virus. But the statistics of like worldwide mortality rate with this virus, including China. Babe, what was the number? Docs. Yes, Bob. He sleep. Anyway, it's like 35,000 people globally that have been reported to the WHO that have passed away from this virus, right? And this fool is on television telling people that we can consider it a victory for our country, that they have done a good job if
they can keep the mortality rate here between 1 and 200,000 people. The fuck?
I just don't understand why those are numbers that need to be used in that way. In a way, like it's supposed to be this positive spin.
Right.
The word, like the ending word, is like this victory thing.
Right.
And that's very confusing to me because I don't feel like we don't win.
Nobody wins in this situation.
You don't win out of you know, you don't win at a virus.
No.
Right? You don't win at a pandemic. You overcome it, right?
You hope to survive, and you try to give people tools so that they can have hope, right? Like you don't.
That's not hopeful.
No, it's not. But
I
yeah.
I broke down today. Like I broke down and cried today because I read one of his stupid tweets, and it just blew my mind. And I'm like, this is the person that gets on the television, and we're supposed to wait for them to give us something, and this is what they're this is the extent of what they're capable of.
Yeah.
And that broke me.
Yeah.
And he's done a lot of shit that's been really awful.
Yeah.
So, like, basically comparing his ratings, the ratings of people tuning in to find out what the fuck is going on so that they feel less scared. He's comparing the ratings of that to, like, a season finale of The Bachelor.
Because he's a reality television monkey. He's not like, I have such disdain for politicians in general. Like, he's not even a politician. Like, he is some goof that has been allowed his whole life because of generational wealth and privilege to fail up. Like, every time he fucks up, somebody puts a trampoline underneath him that lets him bounce even higher. Like, how many fucking people do we have running shit around here, sitting at the head of corporations with all this money that have been allowed to fail up? Look at that idiot with the fire festival and all that shit. Like, these fucking rich people, that's what they do. They are allowed to fail up. And it is so annoying because if someone like you or I made a mistake like that, or a mistake that's even a tenth of the mistakes that they make, we would never be able to dig ourselves out of it. But these fools can declare bankruptcy, fucking destroy people's lives, fuck up people's pensions that they worked for their whole lives, basically, you know, steal people's childhoods, sexually assault people, whatever the fuck. And somehow still they're able to, when they get caught, somebody's supposed to feel sorry for them? Or what? No. Like, it's ridiculous. Anyway, I'm really, really super appreciative that you called in to talk about the festival. And is there a place where people can go to apply for the festival? Can we get that information? And I'll make sure to put it in the show notes.
Yes. You want to go to @sequenced and sequestered, and that's going to be on Facebook, and that will take you to our Facebook page with our website, and you have until April 5th to apply.
Awesome.
And we are so looking forward to seeing what kind of shenanigans people have. I'm nosy. I just want to see inside the house. So I'm really looking forward to it. And yeah, thank you for having me on.
No, and thank you for calling in, and thank you for talking about, I think that whole idea of the collective mourning thing is so important and it needs to be addressed. So thank you for the email. Thank you for taking the time to call in. I really appreciate it.
Of course, that crown looks good on you.
Thank you. I love it. I needed to put it on today to remind myself that my life is not all fucking a mess. Like, there were good things that happened before this. It is heavy. So I'm trying to put together a photo shoot with this thing and trying to figure out how to pose without it ship. I'm gonna get it together next week. Anyway, so all right. Love you. Talk to you soon.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, everybody. Thank you so much to Pucks for calling in. They are an amazing human. And I hope that you will all go and apply for the Sequins and Sequester Festival. I'm going to do it because why not? I mean, we're all at home anyway. You might as well make something fun in your house with the stuff that you have. I think go and look, like go to the Facebook page and look at the rules. The rules are super interesting, right? Like it's stuff that you already have in the house. You can't like go out and get new stuff and whatever. So anyway, it's just really cool to like think about doing a worldwide festival from people's houses, right? We never know, like this could become the new normal. And what if this becomes like a new way to do international burlesque festivals, right? It could really save people money as far as traveling and things of that nature. If you can do more virtual festivals, I mean, I think it could be a brilliant idea. So we'll see how this works. I hope that you all apply. I hope that it's a huge success. And thanks to Pucks and everyone involved in that. We are going to go ahead and move on. I think we have someone else trying to call in, but my phone was being silly. So I'm going to wait a second and see if the person calls back. I believe that this is going to be something really interesting that you guys are going to want to hear about. So I don't know why this is not allowing calls to go through. Oh, wait, no, that was when Pucks called the first time. Okay. Yeah, okay. So we're going to go ahead and move into the next segment while we're waiting for our next caller, because I don't want things to lag. So we're going to get a little music and I'm going to plug in my devices because I forgot to do that before we started. This is getting on my nerves. My jacket hanging on the thing. Jimmy on the beat, wait. I can't move too much because this crown is heavy. Goodwill Hunty. All right. So now we're going to move into the twirly section. This week's poem is super short. Okay, we're going to keep it cute. We're going to keep it short. Okay, so twirly. Dear Netflix, I don't care how many times you show that fucked up preview. I'm not watching Tiger Bitch. Sincerely, Twirlicia. Wasn't really a poem, even though Netflix and Tiger Bitch are supposed to rhyme. But I'm giving myself snaps. I don't care what you guys think about it. Okay, so Stormy just said that it's ringing is busy. Oh, that's because Puck was on. The line is clear now. So I do have one more person that's supposed to be calling around 9 o'clock. So I'm just going to keep going until they do. Stormy, could you do me a favor and try and call again? You don't have to talk if you don't want to. I just want to make sure that the line is functioning, if you would mind. If you wouldn't mind being a friend and trying to call again. I'm going to put some music on for a minute and see if you respond to my request. Oh, no. So, all right. Let's pause and we'll move into the glitter box. So I don't have a bunch of letters or anything in the glitter box, but what I do want to do is give some shout outs to people. So I want to give some shout outs to people for big upping the podcast, for signal boosting it, for posting it on their social media, for sharing everything with people. And yeah, so just want to give some shout outs to Taryn Garders, Stormy Chance, BB Bardot, Geez Louise, Miss Mary Jane Green, Mika Romantic, Iridescence, aka Jezebelly, Queenie O'Hart, House of Cheek, Celine Noir, Vanessa Chevelle, and Gidget Bordeaux. And these are all folks that have, in the recent few weeks, have really kind of been instrumental in putting the podcast out there, sharing it with their friends, signal boosting, subscribing to the YouTube channel, subscribing to the podcast and wherever they stream it, whether it be iTunes or Google Play or wherever they stream. So I just want to send a heartfelt thank you to you. Your support means a whole lot to me. I kind of started this journey of getting the podcast back up and running before everything exploded around us. And now I'm really glad that I did kind of get my shit together before the whole pandemic got super serious, and that I'm back here doing this with you all. So I'm super grateful for your support. So thank you very, very, very much. So now we're going to move into Ecclesiastes Facts. I have something really important that I want to share with you all today. So we all know Miss Trina Parks, okay? She was the first African-American female Bond villain in 1971. Diamonds Are Forever. Her character's name was Thumper. She's also a prolific principal dancer, choreographer, dance educator. She is an actor, a vocalist. Like, she's basically a quintuple threat. There isn't anything that she can't do. So we absolutely love Miss Trina. She was a principal dancer with Catherine Dunham. That is the technique that she typically teaches in her classes. It will wear your ass out. I volunteered to assist her while I was in Savannah, and I still feel Miss Trina in my body from that class. It's like a warm hug in my hip joints. So anyway, I just want you all to know that she has a short story out called And I Am Thumper. It is a prequel to a upcoming book that she has coming out on her experience as the first Black Bond woman and villain. So she is, oh, hey babe. She is going to be offering copies of this short story for $15 each. And it's $2 shipping or $6 if it's international shipping. So I got mine. It's on the way. I hope that you're getting yours. You have to email her in order to receive a copy. And the email is tbey, and that's TEABEY @yahoo.com. That will also be in the show notes. But yeah, please reach out to Miss Trina, get this short story. Her life is super interesting, and she's done a lot of really, really interesting things. And I just think that she's an incredible legend and a woman of so much integrity and with so much knowledge to give to all performers of all genres. So, and also remember during these times to support the legends. As Pucks and I were talking about earlier, I know that everybody has limited resources, and we're kind of like recycling the same money and like passing the collection plate to a threadbare congregation. But if you have friends or benefactors that are outside of burlesque that are helping you out, please, help the legends and support them in any way that you can. it doesn't cost you anything to check in on them. So please check in on our legends. If you have the means to buy their books and memorabilia, please do that as well. Tip them for being inspirational. And Lottie the Body has been heavy on my mind because she passed away recently and I just cannot stop thinking about her. And so give the legends their roses while they're here. So there's that on that. One more brief announcement I'm going to give. Please. Stormy's trying to call and something weird is happening. Okay, here we go. I'm still running the special on merch. So 50% of all the proceeds or all the profits that come in from merch until the end of April are going to Jeezy and Jeezy's Duke Joint. If you go to www.showgirlsd.com, click on the merch tab, you will find a discount code for 10% off. And you will also find a link to the store. So I stated earlier that the first 3 people to call in are going to get a free Showgirl Sunday Dinner sticker. This is the cross dye one. There's 2 different kinds of stickers, and this is the cross dye one. So I'm going to be sending this out to 2 more people that call in if this Google Voice thing decides to work right. If not, I'm just going to send one to Pucks and 2 people who are currently watching right now. So if you're Stormy already said hi. So if you're currently watching, say hi, and 1 more person is getting a sticker. So right now it's Kiki and Stormy. Who else wants a sticker? Comment, say hi. Okay, so again, 50% of all the profits of merch going to G's. She deserves. She's the #1 fucking burlesque performer in the world. Okay? Give her money. Okay, moving on. Have y'all been watching her and the Lolisbo live shows? Classic. All right, so moving on to our PhD in Slayology. It's so weird that this is not working. Okay, I think I fixed it. All right, so our PhD in Slayology is going to Rose Whip. Rose Whip is the Manx of musicality. Oh my God, yes they are. I don't know if you saw that split screen video of us doing that song by Chris John, Full of Smoke, but they are super incredible when it comes to musicality. I was gagging on their eleganza. So they got that whip appeal, y'all. That Rose Whip appeal. I don't know what you're doing with your life if you're not following them or you don't know who they are, because clearly you don't love yourself. So Rose is inspirational, aspirational, and just one of the best sparkle humans I've ever met. They give you cosplay, comedy, and come hither ho in the same show, sometimes in the same fucking acts. They're a dynamo. So they will be a forever fave, and I will forever stand for Rose. So please follow Instagram at Rose_Whip. On Facebook, it's Rose Whip Burlesque. If you send Rose Whip a friend request, send a note stating why you're sending them a friend request, okay? Because they do not want fuck shit and fuckery on their friends list, and I feel them on this. And you should just be doing this anyway. If you are friending an entertainer, because we get so much bullshit and fuckery thrown at us for the work that we do, if you are not someone that this person knows personally or has met personally and you're sending a friend request, you should send a little note that says, hey, I'm such and such. And even if you did meet them before, sometimes it's very difficult for us to remember everybody. Just send a little note that says, hey, I'm such and such. And I'm trying to get in the habit of doing that as well. Because it really is comforting to like not be playing, internet roulette with your friend requests, right? And then you end up with an ashy dick in your inbox that you didn't ask for. Okay, so just, yeah. And some of y'all need to go through y'all's friends list, because some of y'all, I get requests from people who are super questionable, and then I go on their page and I have like a gazillion mutuals, and this person is obviously a nasty, masochistic fucking collector, and no. So yeah, just, you have time now. Clean up your motherfucking friends lists. Okay, thanks, bye. They ain't fucking tipping you either anyway. People like that don't tip, they don't leave money, they don't like buy you things on your Amazon wish list. I say go through your list. If somebody's not a burlesque performer and they haven't like given you something from Amazon or tipped you or anything, or brought your drawers or your news or whatever, you're out here peddling and hustling to the people. If they are not OnlyFans followers or whatever the fuck, they haven't bought your premium snack, I don't know. If they have not in some way monetarily supported you, get rid of their ass. Because no, there's no need for them to be fucking looking at your shit for free. Be gone, bitches. Okay. So yeah, we love Rose Whip and love Rose Whip forever. I'm gonna play a little music and try and figure out what the hell. Stormy says it's still not working. Pucks must have broken it by being way too badass. Okay, so I'm gonna try and figure out what's going on and send a note to the person who I really want to get through to speak with y'all tonight, and hopefully we'll be able to fix this situation. Something. Gonna play a little music for y'all while we're waiting. I'm sorry. I'm losing my mind because nothing is moving on my computer. Okay, there we go. And I don't know why Drake just pops in my head, because that is just not somebody I want to think about right now. Here we go. Oh, now it's working. So I got, wait, no, what's happening? It's happening. Hello?
Hi, this is Maisha.
Hi, I'm so excited you got through. Yay.
Yes,
okay.
Hi, how are you?
I'm so good. I'm so glad to be hearing your voice right now. I'm so excited to have you on. Okay, y'all are in for a treat.
I'm glad that you reminded me, because low-key, sis, I was over here hella tired and making posts and falling asleep, and I'm like, oh shit, I got something to do. So
thank you so much. I'm so excited.
Yes.
So we have Maisha on the line, and I'm gonna let Maisha tell you about all of the fabulous things that they do. I also want you to talk about all your stuff, Maisha, like not just the Homegirl Help Hotline. Like I want folks to know who you are, because I think that you are a prolific individual right now. At least for me, as a Black woman, like watching you and watching your journey and hearing you speaking about your healing is just really, it's really inspiring for me. So I'm excited to hear everything that you have to say. And I'm hoping that, I know that your resources will be something that folks that listen to this podcast will definitely want to use. So I'm handing it over to you.
Okay, well, Ashay, thank you so much. I'm really excited. Thank you for
holding space for me, creating space and sharing space with me to be able to even just offer myself to people, share myself, and to bring what, myself and my community of sisters have built. So I'll talk about that. Well, let me talk about Soul and G Spots first, because it was initially it started. The Homegirl Help Hotline started off as a brainchild of that, and then it grew into something that I realized with the help of my sisters that was something that was grander than that. Mm-hmm. So, my name is Maisha. My hers, and I am the creative goddess and creator and founder of Souls and G Spots, which is a business that I started in 2016 when I began to really realize the power of masturbation and what it had delivered me. In fact, I got this idea to start a business to sell sex toys and talk to Black women about masturbation after I had an orgasm one night, and it was like a portal had opened up, and everything became so clear to me about what I needed to be doing moving forward. And so that night really shifted how I interacted with masturbation, because I realized in that moment it was something, it had something much more to offer me than a quick, like a quickie or busting a nut. I was like, oh wait, there's revelation in this. And so I put together this business to bring Black women into this conversation about masturbation, to talk to us about how healing it is and how it can be used as a modality to reclaim our bodies back, to reclaim our eroticism back, to define our eroticism, and to understand that our pleasure is something for us to experience for ourselves and to benefit from first before we share it and give it to other people. So Souls and G Spots is really prolific, as you just said, in my opinion, because I don't just focus on masturbation. While sex and eroticism and masturbation is super important to me, the work that I do really is focused on a lot of the other stuff that makes it difficult for us to have pleasurable experiences with ourselves. So really looking at the kind of trauma and the things that we've internalized as Black women. So like, for example, I have clients that I'm working with and folks that I see, sisters that I talk to all the time, that can't even think about touching themselves because they dealing with issues around colorism. They dealing with sexual trauma. They dealing with all of this stuff that even makes it difficult for us to even get to a place where touching their genitals or body or pussy or whatever is even possible. So I deal with a lot of that stuff too. Mm-hmm. And really just bringing the conversation around pleasure to a different level, and really helping us understand that, joy is something that can be experienced in the bedroom, outside of the bedroom, that sex is not always about penetration. A lot of times our definitions of sex are always about, dick to pussy, and I personally think a lot of that's overrated. Because it's only a selective few of individuals out here with penises that even have the power to bring about the healing that we need anyway.
Amen.
Sharing the type of, sharing the type of healing that we need anyway. So, it's a lot of that shit. 95% of that shit out there is overrated. So, and then let's see what else. I'm also a sexual assault advocate. So I deal a lot with sexual trauma and really helping people work through sexual trauma, and then providing them with peer support, emotional support, and also resources if they are looking to connect with some other things in relationship to their sexual trauma. Mm-hmm. So that's Souls and G Spots in a nutshell. I have a blog and a podcast. Yes. A lot of my stuff that's up there right now is still, it's older right now. I'm going to update my information soon. But nevertheless, it's old shit, but it's good shit, and people should check it out.
Yes.
I have different articles on there that people, I think, would really love. So.
And would you please tell us the address for your blog and where people can listen to your podcast, and I'll add that to the show notes as well.
Yeah, Absolutely. So people can find my podcast, Dirty Black Girl, the podcast, on I'm on Spotify. I'm on I believe I'm on, like, what's the Google too? Is it, I mean, not Google, but
Google Play.
iTunes, Google Play, all that shit.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I'm on every platform.
All of them.
So literally, if you just Google Dirty Black Girl, the podcast, you'll find me and I'll come up.
Perfect.
And then my blog is it's through my website, so they can go to www.soulsandgspots.com and find the link and everything to my blog, even my podcast link may be up there.
Okay, perfect.
So yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Yes. And then so I'll talk about Homegirl Help Hotline.
Yeah.
Which I'm super excited about because I got this idea. So this idea really came as a result of me. I was on the phone with my sisters, but my one sister in particular, we were best friends in middle school.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like the ultimate best friend. Like, I had never met anybody in my life that, provided the kind of familiarity and closeness that she did. I just could be my authentic self with her, and we just had a beautiful sistership as kids, and we just parted ways due to she moved. It was we didn't fall out, no beef, no nothing. It was just we ended up going to different schools and we separated. And then she recently came back in my life about maybe 4 or 5 months ago, and it was like she never left. Aww. And so she formed a womb healing circle with myself, her sister Naya, and then her sister-in-law Claire, and we're all in a womb healing circle. And one night I got off the phone with them. I was just feeling so high and just so supported by my sisters, and this idea came to mind. Like, all I kept hearing was Homegirl Help Hotline in my brain, and I was like, "What is you, Spirit? What you trying to tell me?" Mm-hmm. And so, from there, it was birthed. I was like, this idea, I took it to her, and I was like, "I want you to be an operator. I want you to I want you to share what you give to me every day with other women around the world who may not have sisters that provide this level of sisterhood that you give to me." Yeah. And even for sisters who do, maybe you just want some more sisters, Mm-hmm. So it's like the Homegirl Help Hotline is a space for, again, we focus on Black women, but anybody can call that needs sisterhood. And we are just a donation-based service that operates on Sundays from 5:30 to 8 p.m. Pacific time. And so if you had a bad day, if somebody got you fucked up, if you got good news that you can't talk to somebody about, if, whatever it is, if you need somebody to talk to, you can reach out to us. Yeah. And we will provide you with a 20 to 30-minute session, donation-based services.
That's so beautiful, especially in times like this, like having support and having somebody kind of just having a sounding board sometimes to kind of just get stuff off your chest, and someone that you feel like can relate to you, you know what I mean, in a way that maybe some other folks can't. It's just really a powerful service to offer, and to have it be a donation-based service, mental health is so important in this, and there's just, and I appreciate you focusing on Black women, and I appreciate you for servicing everybody, but that focus on Black women is so important because, and the reason why it's so important, like, I want people to understand, because I feel like people get very caught up in the idea that things are too gendered, or that, I've gotten some kind of pushback against this podcast because I refuse to let go of the fact that this is a Black woman-centered thing. And the reason it's important is because we need places that center us. The rest of the world does not. You know what I mean? Like, we have to put the lines in the sand. We have to create the spaces for ourselves, because there aren't very many safe spaces out in the world for us. So when we create those spaces, we need to make sure that other Black women understand, like, this is a safe space for you, right? This is safe harbor for you, because if we don't say it, then they don't know, because most of the time in the world, you're going to find hostility towards you as a Black woman, even in feminist spaces, even in spaces that are slated for people of color, even in spaces that are slated for LGBTQIA plus people. Blackness and feminists cause issues in those spaces for people.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So if you don't know that some place is a safe space for you as a Black femme person, you know what I mean? Like, it's very important to identify those spaces and to put those margins around those spaces so that folks know. Because simply saying that it's a POC space does not make me feel safe. Okay, I've been in plenty of POC spaces where I have been made to feel like some of the people who have given me shit about me putting this as a Black femme-centered podcast are other POCs.
Yeah. You know and you know what, because really, and I'm learning to really listen to what people are saying when they say that, and really what people are saying when they have such an issue with us creating boundaries, because that's what it is. It's Black saying, nope, here's my boundary, and whatever reaction you have to that is your issue. And what I'm realizing is that their issue is what they're saying, and what they don't know how to articulate because they're not doing their self-work is that they're not able to understand that what they're saying is, damn, I'm upset that I don't get to benefit and exploit the energy from you that I've been told that is okay for me to benefit from and exploit.
And I have been benefiting and exploiting from. Oh my God.
I have been benefiting from and exploiting, and I'm upset with you that you are drawing a boundary with me, because then I no longer can do that. You're not letting me benefit from you, and that's the issue when people have an issue with Black women saying, or just Black folks in general saying, no, this space is for us. And so I've run into issues even with other Black folks who have non-Black partners with that. Like, there's even Black people who feel offended by you letting them know that, like, hey, you welcome on, hey, love you, but like your partner, this is not their space. You know what I'm saying? Like, no shade to them, no disrespect. It's all love and light. But if this is not their space, and there's even other Black people that have a problem with that. And so again,
that's so messed up.
It's really some real life, deep healing that needs to take place with our folks.
Yeah.
Because really what it shows is we don't have proper boundaries. When we have issues with that, or when other people have issues with that, it really shows a lack of, lack of boundaries and just respect for people. So, yeah, all the work that I do centers Black femmes, Black women, and again, I'm open to most folks that, and I say most because I don't want to work with everybody, because when you say everybody, you got to be clear about what you're saying.
Absolutely.
Some people's energy I don't want to work with, right?
Yeah.
And so, but for the most part, I'm here for everybody that wants to do their work and wants to elevate, but they have to understand that I center Black femmes and Black women in what I do.
Absolutely. And we have a mutual fave, Miss Brickhouse.
I love her so much. Oh my God.
And what you were... Oh, no, sorry, go ahead. Yeah, no.
No, I was just going to say, I love her.
Yes.
Like, honestly, she gives me so much power through her existence.
Yes.
I love her. So anyway, I just wanted to say that.
But I was just thinking about her all Black kink spaces and play parties that she runs, right? So I have a non-Black partner, right? But I would never, ever ask Brickhouse to bring my non-Black partner into her Black spaces. And my non-Black partner would never feel like that was a slight against them, right? Like you said, like it's not, I don't understand why it's so difficult for people to understand that there is so much healing that needs to be done, that needs to center us, because there was so much abuse, pain, generational fucking dehumanization that centered around just us. That in order to combat that, we need to have spaces to heal. that are just us, and our sex, our bodies, our sex, in general, is something that was utilized, was commodified, was one of the biggest ways that we were dehumanized, regardless of gender. Right. So it's like spaces like that to me. And again, like the stuff that you talk about, healing through masturbation and the shame I hear you speak about some women have against the whole idea of even touching themselves. Like that is just so, like there's so much healing within understanding your own pussy.
Yeah.
Or your own pleasure, regardless, genital, whatever. But regardless of how you identify, there's so much energy and so much healing available to you, and understanding your own pleasure and taking and celebrating that pleasure for yourself. Like it just, so anyway, I stand for everything that you do. I found out about you through Kina.
Yeah, shout out Kina. Like lots of love and just energy to her. I love her so much.
Yes.
She's been it's important to me. I love saying people's names and shouting them out in whatever I do.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I wouldn't, Soul and G-Spots would not be where it's at if it was not for Kina's contributions to it. She's been my one of my biggest supporters, and so I just wanted to take this time to just say that, because that's my dog. Go ahead, sis.
No. I found out about you through Kina, and it's like, you have been such a gift to me. And Kina has always spoken so highly of you, and always spoken so highly about your and everything that you do. And I watch everything that you post. I watch your stories. You put out so much amazing information for people, right? It just flows out of you. Like you're a conduit, right? There's like, you have a deep ancestral connection. It's very clear. You know what I mean? That you've been doing that inner work, and that you've been focusing on finding that connection and finding that healing. You know what I mean? So there is this ancestral flow that's coming through, like this knowledge, and it's so pure and it's so beautiful. And the language that you use is just so like near and dear to my heart. Like just, yes, like this is how we speak, right? So it's like having that communicated in that way is just, it makes it so accessible, and it makes it so normalized, and it makes it so beautiful. So
thank you.
I'm so grateful for you.
I appreciate, thank you for saying that, because that's important to me. Like I went to school and got a master's degree, blah, blah, blah. But it's really important to me that, I remain, authentic to who I was before I even came into that. You know what I'm saying? And that I'm able to speak to people in a way that it resonates with them, but also challenge people at the same time too. To like, if you want to elevate your language, you can do that. But I'm a big component, like a big fan of being able to just be our authentic selves and to remain in that, because it's important to be able to speak to people in a way that they understand. Because sometimes you get a lot of people that go through these academies and these systems, and they come out with all this fucking language and the complex industrial prison system. I'm like, jail, nigga, what are you talking about? Niggas is locked up. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's important to me, to just get to the point,
Yeah.
So, thank you for saying that.
And I mean, it is appropriate in certain circles, right? You have to be able to do both, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes, unfortunately, because whatever, I believe AAVE is a fucking dialect, and we should be able to use it wherever the fuck we want, but such is life. We live here. So, we can't be as free as we would like in all places. But, it's just, it's amazing to have access to that space, and to have access to such a free Black woman when I'm feeling like I'm locked up in a cage in fucking Red State, Indiana, right? I go to your page and you have some amazing story with some incredible fucking outfit on, like twerking and talking about healing yourself through masturbation. I'm like, this is exactly what the fuck I needed to see today. Like, I needed to hear this knowledge. I needed to see this beautiful body, like, enjoying itself in all of its glory. Like, this is what I needed to see. And now I'm going to go take care of myself because now I'm inspired. Right? So thank you so much. And thank you so much for calling and sharing your information. I will make sure to post all of this information about the Homegirl Hotline and Souls and G-Spots. And I really hope that people reach out to you and utilize the services and listen to your podcast. My life has been so enriched by your presence. And I just thank you so very much. I'm so very grateful to you.
Thank you all. Yes, please follow the Homegirl Health Hotline at Homegirl Health Hotline on Instagram. And shout out to my sisters, Azia, Naya, and Lexis for stepping up and helping to build this platform. And thank you so much for extending yourself to me and allowing myself to be shared with your platform.
Oh, and are you looking for additional helpers? And do you have criteria for that? And if so, what if you can send me something, I'll post it, because I know I have some folks in this network that are work in mental health and are Black folks and, or in social work or whatever, and might want to volunteer their time to Homegirl Helpline. So if you have a webpage or if you're ever looking for more folks to recruit to help, just let me know and I'll put out a signal boost. So we can get you, if you need more people, we can get you more people.
For sure. Yes. Yeah. Right now we're still in very early stages of it. I mean, I was actually really surprised with even just the response, because even Souls and G-Spots page didn't pop off like how Homegirl Health Hotline did. So I was so surprised by the response of it, which just speaks to the power of collectivity and doing things as a group. But as of right now, we want to figure out what direction we're moving in and how we want to build this up in different ways, because I think we all collectively realize that we have something really huge on our hands here. So at the moment that it is built to a place where we can share it with more people, I will absolutely let everybody know when that time comes.
Perfect. Okay, and thank you again so much for taking the time to talk to everybody today. And I really, really appreciate you calling and doing this. Like, my heart is so full right now. Thank you.
Thank you. Ashe. Blessings to you, sis.
You have a good night.
Okay. You as well. Bye.
I love this calling shit. It's giving me life, y'all. Okay. So that was so uplifting. And I need a second to process that, because I almost cried like 4 times during the whole thing. So I'm gonna give myself a second to hydrate and get my shit together. My Isha is a fucking goddess. Stupid music. Can't have anything. Okay. So now we've come to the part of the podcast that I love to hate. Oh, you fucking thought. You heard me speak briefly about the rabbit Cheeto-in-Chief and his remarks earlier today. And I would just like to issue a really large the fuck to our administration, now that we've gotten that shit out of the way. I want to talk a little bit more about the sadness that this is all causing. This isn't a read per se. This is just kind of a reflection. Because sometimes, I don't always read. Sometimes I'm reflective. See, all of the spiritual work is causing growth in me. Can you see the growth? Anyway, okay, so I want you to think about acknowledging your pain over your lost gigs, your lost stage time, your lost interactions with your Sparkle fam. I think that's the thing that hurts me the most, right? Lost income and all that. Yes, these things are terrible. But to have to lose income and also lose interaction with my Sparkle fam is just like the worst. Like, anyway, lost confidence. Like it felt like I was in this place where I was like performing pretty regularly and it was starting to feel good to me. You know what I mean? Like I was starting to get more comfortable and I was starting to experiment and play more and starting to kind of feel like I was having a better understanding of who Twirlisha is as a performer and what I want to do next, and had all of these like incredible kind of new iterations of old acts and new things that I wanted to explore, that were just coming out of me organically. Since I've kind of shifted some things around in my burlesque life and have kind of gotten the opportunity to perform more often. And it's just been really, really healing and really amazing. And I felt like I was kind of like on this slope. I was kind of like going like this, right? It's like this. And then all of a sudden it just went, right? So now I feel like I'm losing the confidence that I had from being able to perform and experiment and play and get more comfortable with what I'm doing and let go of these ideals of perfection and bullshit that I've had from like previous iterations. Life as an entertainer. So I've lost the desire to like apply for shows and festivals because I just feel like trash. I know, it's just stupid. Like everybody hopped on my comment when I want to know what other people's first impressions of my burlesque were because it was fucking mess. Okay, so here's the thing. Like, thank you all for like saying nice things to me, but I wasn't looking for compliments. Okay, I was just saying that I felt like it was mess. And anybody who fucking knows me knows that that's how I feel about most of the things. And I know it's not good to be that self-deprecating. And I'm fucking working on it. Okay, like I'm working on it. Okay, trying, I'm growing. But I really honestly felt that way. Like I was like, don't tell me because I already know, like, mess. And again, I have the footage. I synced it. It mess. I know. So yeah, I know I need to keep applying so that I can keep performing. But like, I don't know. Like I feel like I was gaining momentum, and now I just feel like the momentum has kind of just crashed. Right? Like the hill feels a lot steeper to climb. Right? The incline was like this, and now it's like this, and I just keep sliding off the edge. It's just, my graduation is canceled, not just because the ceremony was canceled, but because I canceled myself from graduating because I had to drop a class this semester. And I haven't talked about this because it's super triggering. This is about death and grief, and this is a content warning that you might want to skip the rest of all you thought if this is about addiction and death and grief and academic fuckery. And yeah, so I'm giving you an opportunity to just like fast forward past the rest of all you thought, or like get off the live stream if you don't want to hear this story. Okay, so I'm going to tell the story in 5 seconds. Okay, that was 5 seconds. Okay. So the story goes, I had a criminology class and a Black male professor. And he's retiring at the end of the semester. So he has like absolutely no fucks, right? Which is fine. And, while I find a lot of the things that he says problematic, I also found him slightly entertaining in certain regards. And I did challenge him with certain assertions that he made in class, like the whole idea of what constitutes a probable cause for search and seizure and detaining people and all that kind of stuff. Like, what makes someone look like a criminal, right? So, like, sagging pants is not a reason to detain someone. I don't give a fuck, okay? But, you know, he's a Huxtable Black, so, you know, here we are. So he showed a film in class about addiction and also about, you know, incarceration that surrounds addiction. And I had a friend of mine that passed away recently of an overdose. And the film kind of like shook me up a little bit. And I got a little misty-eyed while we were watching the film. And there was a girl in my class who usually sits in front of me. She's really sweet. And she kind of turned around and was like, "Are you okay?" And I was kind of like telling her what happened or whatever. And she's like, "Oh, it's okay," or whatever. And then I guess my professor was like paying attention to what was happening. And class is over. And he's like, "Well, what's going on?" And I was like, "Well, it's just kind of triggered me a little bit. I had a friend recently passed away of a drug overdose, and just watching this and hearing all these people's stories and how unnecessary the grief and pain that goes into, you know, addiction, especially for brown or for Black, brown folks, poor folks, you know, it's just really sad. And it just kind of brought a bunch of stuff up for me. He literally was just like, "You need to do something with all that energy. I'm going to talk to Doc. You need to have a baby." Fuck you, first of all, because how do you know I'm even able to have children? Second of all, why do you know that I call my husband Doc? Because that's what I refer to him as on social media, right? Also, why would you say something like that to someone about grieving? You would never say that to a male student or a male presenting student. Why do you think you say that to me? Like, I'm still in your class regardless. Like, for you to be that familiar with, I would never. There's a relationship, a level of respect that you have for people in academic situations, whether you're a professor or a student, right? I would never overstep my bounds to tell this person how to grieve. Also, again, class is over. I wasn't fucking talking to you. You really could have walked away and minded your whole ass business. So I decided to drop the class because I was super triggered in the moment and just did not want to deal with it. And I needed the class in order to graduate. So now I'm going to have to take another class, which I probably was going to have to take another class anyway, because my school is not transfer friendly. And I have lost a lot of credits transferring over, and they give $0 about it. So I was probably going to have to take another class anyway. So now I'm probably going to have to take 2 more classes, and that's just really getting on my nerves because I just feel like the finish line just keeps getting pulled farther and farther away from me, and I am so fucking tired of this elitist bullshit ass system that keeps trying to tell me I don't deserve to be given the reward for all of the work that I have put in. I have busted my ass in school. I have worked so fucking hard. And to have it taken away from me and to have the finish line just like it's like a fucking donkey with a carrot, I feel like such a jackass because at the end of the day, like, what the fuck is this degree really going to do for me, honestly? Because there are people running around with fucking master's degrees that work at Starbucks. And I'm not saying anything negative against that, okay? What I'm saying is that the educational system is a fucking racket, just like pretty much every capitalist business in this country. You know, you invest all of this money and all of this time into these institutions, and then they don't give a fuck what happens to you when you walk out of there. And in a lot of cases, you're not prepared, depending on what your degree is, to go into the field that you want to go into. Now, my original major was Black Studies and counseling. If I want to get a degree in Black Studies and counseling at my school, it would take me an additional 1.5 to 2 years. So I switched my major to BLS, which basically is like a bachelor's in cultural studies, right? But it's basically just like a generalized degree with a concentration in history and culture. What the fuck am I supposed to do with that? wipe my ass with it, basically. But because I've been in school for so long, it's just like I'm chasing a piece of paper. And at this point, I just fucking want it. Just fucking give me my shit and let me have my cap and gown and walk across the stage so my husband can fucking see that all of this time and energy and money that he's invested in me going to school was worth a damn. Like, let me feel like all of the energy that I put into this matters. Like, I'm doing this. The reason why I won't let it go is because I'm doing it to honor my mother, who passed away when I was 10 years old. My education was always super important to her. And the reason why I went back to school is because I wanted to finish the thing that I had started in honor of her that I knew meant so much to her. And it meant something to me too, because like, I feel like I deserve to have that. Like, I understand how validating it is to have a degree. Like, in this elitist bullshit ass country, it doesn't matter what I've read or what I know. If you don't have this stupid dumbass piece of paper to back it up, then it doesn't matter, right? And it doesn't matter how smart you are or how good you are at something, you know, unless you're fucking Bill Gates or whatever the fuck. You need your fucking piece of paper, okay? Because there aren't that many people that get to slip through the fucking cracks and become an innovator and a gazillionaire like Bill Gates. That's why he's fucking Bill Gates, because he's an anomaly, okay? He's the exception. He's not the rule. Okay, so I wanted to be able to complete this thing for myself, to prove to myself that I could, and that I wasn't an idiot, and that I was worth it, and that I could have this because I deserved it, and I was willing to put in the work to have it. And so, yeah, it just keeps getting pushed further and further away from me, and I feel like a rat in a wheel, and I'm tired of running. And yeah. So I think right now the thing that's causing me the most anxiety and the most stress at this point is school, with no recourse and nothing else to look forward to except these fuck-ass Zoom sessions and these stupid-ass online quizzes and all these extra fucking pages of papers and fucking bullshit that I'm going to have to write. And here's the thing, I actually like learning. I just hate being fucked with, right? And that's because I'm a good student. And I actually really care about school and engaging in my classes and like I do. But so yeah, that's how you thought. I'm gonna move on because I'm just tired of talking about that shit. And I want to show you my fucking tweezers. I got these. Can you see them? Yes. So, inspired by Aria Delanoche, I'm going to learn how to dance in these motherfuckers. I've been wearing them around my house. I think I'm going to the supermarket like this. I don't know if I'll wear the dress with the crown and the fucking shoes. I might throw the bow on too. Fuck it. I mean, they're already staring at me in War, Indiana. I might as well just enjoy it. So no Dine and Dish tonight because we've had so many callers and it's been such an interesting episode. So I need to wrap things up. But I do want to make one final announcement. Fill out the forms that are on the podcast website, www.showgirlsd.com. Thank you, El DeJour, for filling out the guest form. Of course, I'm going to have you on the show. You're fucking phenomenal. And there are also ad sponsor forms if you're interested in being promoted. And also there's a marginalized performer survey that I would like folks to continue filling out. If you can, donate. If you can't donate, communicate, right? Send in letters. Call if I can ever get the fucking Google Voice to work. Write comments and stuff on the YouTube channel, on the Facebook posts, on the Instagram. Subscribe to all of the things. Like, if support comes in a whole bunch of different forms, and there are literally 11 ways you can support this podcast that don't require any funds at all. Subscribe to all of the things involved in the podcast: Instagram, YouTube, wherever you're streaming it. Share it with your friends. Comment, like, rate, put a heart, a thumbs up, whatever your streaming service or whatever. YouTube, you put a thumbs up, like, do all that shit. If you can buy merch, because like I said, 50% of the profits are going to G's until the end of April. And there's a 10% discount code on the website. And, just take the time to listen when you can. And so now we're going to go into the last thing, which is our pay season cake. And I want to just give a shout out to some people who have really, and I wrote a post about this on my Facebook, but I've been kind of really getting back into my spiritual practice. And I just want to send a special shout out to the women that have been really instrumental in me getting to that place where I have been ready to stop avoiding my spiritual journey and delve back in. Hoodoo Hussy, who is the high priestess of burlesque, HOODOOHUSSY. Her link tree is on her Instagram, so you can get to all of her websites from there. Lorena, the Lioness of the West. Her Insta is at the official Lorena, TheOfficialLareina. Her link tree is also there on the Insta, so you can get to all her stuff. DM her about her services. She's got amazing, she does readings that are incredible. And also she's got some bath salts and all kinds of different apothecary things going on, some spelled candles. So check out her Instagram and her web pages and DM her for services, because I've personally utilized her services and her products, and amen. Also Hoodoo Hussies. Yes, get that. Tutu Toussaint, the Royal Rebel of Burlesque. Her Insta is at Tutu Toussaint, and that's TUTUTOUSSAINT. Her link tree is available there as well, so you can access the rest of her website. Her shop is closed at the time because there's a family emergency happening, but please feel free to donate to Tutu Toussaint. Also, amazing that I've utilized and really love. And then also, last but just certainly not least, Lulu La Duchesse Derriere. Oh, you have been sitting on my spirit so much ever since I went to the Pink and White in Minneapolis. Every time our paths cross, like, I just feel like you just kind of dig a little deeper into my heart. I have like a whole room in there now, and I just appreciate you so much. And this book is so special, and thank you for the recommendation. And I'm like, it's never just a book, right? It's this book, and then it's this book, and then it's this book, and then it's this book, and I'm reading all these books at once. So this is what I've been doing for spring break. Fuck school. I'm doing real education from a spiritual life. So yeah, all these books, Finding Soul on the Path of the Orisha, 365 Days of Hoodoo, Crosswords of Conjure, Jambalaya. Like, just reading it all, applying it all, feeling really, really good. Yeah. So thank you for that. Thank you to everyone who has been watching. I know this has been long as fuck. It's like 2 hours, and I'm going to have to edit this forever tomorrow. But thank you to all of you who have tuned in and watched. Thank you to everyone who has called in. Thank you to Pucks and to Maisha. Like, so much beauty. And please, y'all gotta get into Maisha. I can't. My heart is beating really fast thinking about it. Like, go masturbate. I might have to do that now too. Anyways, so I love you all. Thank you so much for joining. And I look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks for Glitter and Dinner. And I just I feel good. And I'm just really, really, really glad that you have all been here with me. So without further ado, I'm going to roll us out of here. That's not right. See? See, I need to get better at coordinating this sound shit. Because there we go.
Thank you all so much for joining me this evening. Be sure to keep up on all things Showgirl Sunday Dinner by following me so that I can follow all the social media conversations happening in between meals. Please visit www.showgirlsd.com or shoot an email to showgirlsundaydinner@gmail.com for more information on upcoming shows, questions, tips, advice requests, suggestions, booking, advertising, brand ambassadorship, and/or sponsorship inquiries. Showgirl Sunday Dinner will drop every other Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time and will be available on iTunes/Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, and Google Play. Make sure to share SGSD with all of your friends on social media and leave a like, comment, and/or a 5-star review while you're listening. I hope that you are full and satisfied. Stay sparkly, beautiful people. And I look forward to glitter and dinner with all of you on the next episode of Showgirl Sunday Dinner.
Don't finish the door and make these dance for me. I'm going to figure out how to do this.